Hi, my name is Emily Green, and I'm here to present you with information on how to balance your schoolwork with sports throughout your 4 years of high school. Let's take a look. In a poll I conducted, I asked if anyone was in a JV or varsity sport. 75% said yes and 25% said no. Coming into high school as a freshman is difficult for everyone, especially when you add trying to find time to balance your academics and sports into the mix. I asked a few students if they could share how they do it.
I really have to balance my time. I have to make sure that I make the most of my time and that I work hard. Because I don't have time to play video games and watch TV. Because I just go home and I do my homework right after I come back from practice. Because that's usually at 6 o'clock at night. And after I do my homework, it's about 8 o'clock. I take a shower, eat. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to bed.
My practice is right after school, so after school ends, I usually do my homework when I get home, and then that leaves time for me to just chill at home and watch TV or go do something with my friends. So my tip is to just do your homework right away, or just make sure you find time to do your homework, even if it's just during Hawks or, but just to stay on track with it.
I write down everything that I need to get done, and then I write down when it needs to be done by. And in between school and sports and work, I make sure that I leave enough time to finish everything that I need to get done so that I can turn it in.
I set reminders so I know what I have to do first, and I prioritize, because obviously you can't play a sport if you have bad grades. Taking into consideration what the students said, I asked 2 teachers if they agree student athletes have a more difficult time balancing their academics, and if so, what can incoming sport players do to reduce that stress level?
No, I think the opposite. I believe that kids who are involved in sports are better managers of their time, and sometimes even when they are in between seasons, they neglect their studies a little bit because they have a little downtime, and they don't use those same amazing abilities to manage their time. I really do think that that a lot of times these kids that are involved in sports are better managers of their time.
I think they have a more difficult time with academics when they're doing sports. Yeah. Anticipation, preparation. Anticipate when tests or quizzes are coming or homework that's coming, and try to work on it ahead of time. Try to get lots of extra sleep on the weekends, and pre-read what's coming in your classes. Check Hack to see upcoming exams or projects that are due and start them earlier, because when they have practices 2 or 3 hours a night, or games 2 or 3 hours a night, they're not going to have the focus and the ability to get their work done on those evenings.
A second poll I conducted, I also asked if anyone was in an AP class or an honors class. 78% said yes and 22% said no. It's common for many incoming students to stress on balancing their time. So I asked current high schoolers if they had any advice for new freshmen.
I would just say to make sure that you do your homework before it's due. Don't wait till the last minute to do everything, and make sure you just manage your time, because if you don't, then you're going to get really stressed and all your work is going to get backed up.
It's not as hard as you think. You just gotta not stress about it. If you're not stressed, you'll be relaxed through all of it and you'll get through it.
So my tip to you is that if you're on JV or varsity, to do your homework either before you have practice or after you have practice, so that way you don't get off track and you don't procrastinate. And when you have games, try to do your homework if it's a away game, before your game or right after. Just make sure that you use your time wisely and that you don't push everything off last minute.
So for incoming freshmen, I just tell them, it's not that big of a deal to worry about. Just don't slack off, because it is harder than middle school. You got to make sure you keep up those good grades, or else you'll be kicked off the sports team.
I hope you learned from the students and teachers some beneficial techniques on balancing your time and staying on track. It is true that your grades affect your ability to participate in sports, so try your best to work hard and remain stress-free throughout your 4 years of high school. It's a very scary time for incoming freshmen to find time to balance their schoolwork with their extracurricular activities. I hope my video gave you some tips on how you can balance your schoolwork with your sports.